Hello, everyone. How are you? You guys have any idea how hard this is to play? I was a part of the Three Rivers Ringers. We did this one year. Oh my goodness. Gotta have a really good director in order to do it on time with everyone else. All right. We're going to go ahead and...
Hold on. Computer off. Thank you.
Do you feel better now?
Yes,
that
I
you've
do.
gotten a copyright
Yes, I do.
on our YouTube video for this evening?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hello, everyone. As people begin to trickle in a little bit here and there, welcome. I do apologize for not getting out a reminder on our Facebook and Instagram pages. Our Instagram is locked up because apparently it thinks that we sold our stuff to a third party, and I'm locked out until April 3rd. I don't know.
Okay.
Fun. So you won't be seeing any posts from me for a couple of days, so I do apologize for that. I will try to get onto the business Facebook and see if it will allow me on there. We'll just have to see how that goes. So hopefully everybody is in here and is seeing this okay. So I see a couple of people are popping in and out, so hopefully more and more people will start to come in as this evening progresses.
Well, so anyway, like Megan said, welcome everybody, and welcome to the most plum crazy channel there is on YouTube and Facebook. So
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Tonight we're going to be doing a little bit of discussion about, what is it again? Oh yeah, space. Now, yes, we're not booking vacation trips yet to outer space. But
Scott is determined that we are going to someday.
I'm going to book one of those vacations. I'm telling you one. But anyway, what we're wanting to talk to you guys about is if you've got any little ones that are interested in, looking at the stars, looking at the moon, wanting to be an astronaut, we've got some really great ideas for you tonight. So
most definitely.
So you definitely want to stick around and listen to what we got to say, and got some information about different things that's going on around the country with rocket launches and stuff. So anyway. With all that being said, we're going to get started here tonight. We've got a couple people popping in right now. So here we go.
All right. So the very first thing that I want to bring up is I do want to talk about some theme park news, because we actually got some news this week that I wanted to share with everyone. And I'm curious, we both work today outside of the house, so it'll be interesting to see what he knows and what I know, because we're going to have to bounce this off of each other. Not nearly as scripted as what I like for these to be, so bear with us.
I don't know anything.
Okay, well, that makes that easy.
I really don't. I've had a very busy day today, and haven't been on Facebook and haven't been on any of the channels to find out what's going on in the world of Disney or Universal.
Okay. Well, the very first thing, let's talk about Universal. So one of the cool things that you'll be interested in is they added 2 new songs to Rip Ride Rockit on their secret menu.
Ah, cool.
For those of you that don't know, Rip Ride Rockit is the large outdoor coaster that is at Universal Studios at Orlando. I will never ride it because of the vertical climb before the first launch. I cannot handle the clicking, and I will never do it. So this is definitely a for the boys only kind of ride. They have different songs that you can pick out, and then you've got speakers on either side of your head as you're going through, and you can listen to your favorite song while you're doing it, this big coaster. They have a secret menu of different songs that are available, and the 2 that they just added on, let me look at my notes, is What's My Age Again and All the Small Things by Blink-182. Ironically, the code for All the Small Things is 182. And then if you wanted to listen to What's My Age Again, it's 183. So that's really cool. I think that's a lot of fun. Something for anybody that's interested in having like the secret menu. There's 2 codes for you to be able to punch in.
Well, how ironic is it that you're talking about Rip Ride Rocket on the night that we're going to be talking about space?
Yeah. Another reason why I'll never go to space. Not that there's going to be clicking, but I'm just going to be thinking of that and be like, nah, not happening. So another thing, HHN has officially announced their dates.
Halloween Horror Nights 31.
Yeah, so they will be doing it from September 2nd through October 31st. So it's the longest HHN that they have ever had running. It's actually starting before Labor Day.
Wow.
So
and I actually did see that they're already starting to build some of the new sets and some of the new scare zones and stuff already. They're getting prepared and ready to go for the 31st year of Halloween Horror Nights.
Yes, they are, which is very exciting. I've actually already got some people booked for a couple of things. They have already released their single day tickets. If anybody is interested in going, let me know, because we are able to get those booked right now. We are also able to get your RIP tour booked if you are interested in that. And we are able to do your RIP tour that is a private tour that is set up slightly differently, but we can also get those booked right now. The only thing that we're really waiting on at this point for my people that are multiple night goers is the frequent fear passes, and hopefully they'll release those fairly quickly, because last year, if my memory serves me correctly, they did the single night tickets and then they waited like a month, and then they did frequent fear pass and RIP and everything all at the same time. So I'm hoping that because they've already released the RIP stuff, that they're going to release frequent fear pass soon. So, and for those of you that are going to the parks before HHN starts, you can get a jump start on the HHN merchandise, because the Five and Dime has already begun to bring out some stuff, and it looks really cool. They're keeping with the theme of Don't Go Alone. Yep, they look awesome.
That's pretty cool. I don't think we could have ever rehearsed that and done that together.
No, we really couldn't have. Hi, Deb. How are you?
Oh, sorry, Mom. Didn't see that you chimed in there.
Sorry, I have to make myself taller so I can see over. For those of you that see, especially like my eyes bouncing back and forth, we are on YouTube and on Facebook. And so the Facebook feed is on my phone, and I'm looking up at that. And then the YouTube is on my MacBook, which is right below it. So going back and forth again this evening, so that we've got... last week, it was a crash and burn. Howdy on here on YouTube, Deb. Thank you. It was a bit of a crash and burn on our YouTube. I ended up having to just pull it down completely because we were having issues with a webcam that we were testing out. So I do apologize for that. If you didn't want to see the content from last week, head on over to our Facebook page. Lots of really good information. So, and Mike's on here too. Yay! Very exciting. So... the next thing that I wanted to talk about, which you are going to be so excited about, probably our least favorite restaurant in Islands of Adventure.
Least favorite?
Yes. Burger Digs. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm burping. They officially brought the toppings bar back this week.
Ooh.
That is what makes this place worth it.
All right, let me explain what she's talking about and the reason why we really love this bar. Okay, so when we went there in 2011?
Yeah,
it was 2011.
Or maybe it was 2010 or something. But anyway, our very first trip with the boys.
Yeah, first trip with the boys, and we go in there.
Back before I was nuts about taking photos about everything.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out a way to get lunch for everybody, so we went in, got a hamburger, and the boys were picking at, they're going over to the bar and they're getting like one tomato and like one pickle, and I'm like, guys.
Granted, we spent like $75 on 5 hamburgers with French fries. Not the best French fries, not the best hamburgers. I mean, they're very basic. Okay, this is your typical theme park food. This is not what we show you when we go places. We didn't know any better. Learn from our mistakes.
So we decided that we were going to load up on pickles and tomatoes and put them all on our plates and stuff. I swear we had more tomatoes and more pickles than we had French fries and a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny. And the boys, they even laugh about that even till this day.
Yeah,
we talk about
because
it,
we also do at Cosmic Grace Cafe, which
Mm-hmm.
Not to diss Universal, but I think they do have better hamburgers over there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like all of our teenagers and Nick, like they'll eat an entire jar of pickles in one sitting if we will let them. So they definitely did not go to waste. And one of our favorite snacks, actually, in the summertime when you get really good ripe tomatoes, is fresh tomatoes with a little bit of salt. So that was like we were so excited
cheese.
about that. Well, yes, but I don't know if we could find that in
ranch dressing.
Yeah. All right. I'm starting to get hungry again. So we're
going
to move on. Another thing that I saw was the Mardi Gras tree has been debeaded. The beads were getting so heavy that they were starting to worry about the tree itself and its health. So they actually debeaded the tree. Not to worry, you're still able to throw your beads through April 24th if you guys are wanting to go, or if you already had your tickets booked with me, which I do have a couple more people that are going to be going before the end of the Mardi Gras season. So you are going to be able to go check out that Mardi Gras tree and throw your beads over to it and be a part of this celebration. Just heads up, if you are there in the next, 3 or 4 days, it might look a little bare, and that's why.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, when we went down there last year, of course, it was in the middle of the pandemic, so a lot of people weren't traveling and stuff. But even at then, there was a ton of beads hanging off of that tree.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool tradition it's been started by literally all of us, and Universal's just let us run with it and have fun with it. So and I'm glad to say that we got to be a part of it, and it was really cool to experience it. So
I love it. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is the Shrek 4D props are now officially up for display. I believe these are mostly in the City Walk Universal Studios store that is the Tribute store. There may be a few things that is in the prop shop, which is within Universal Studios as well. Okay. So very cool. A couple of things in there that I wouldn't mind going and seeing again, even though the ride queue itself is completely closed.
Yep.
So, and you can buy the Enchanted Mirror if you so choose. I believe that sucker was like $7,000, and that is going to be in the prop shop.
Well, let me just pull out some change out of my pocket.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That's cheap.
So very cool things happening over at Universal.
Yeah.
I think that's about everything for them as of right now. They are very good at releasing things the following day whenever I talk about a bunch of stuff. So
because the stuff
be prepared. Yep, I'm probably have more next week. Over at Disney, Walt Disney World this evening is going to be our primary focus. They have officially announced that they are going to be opening up a Treasures of Xandar gift shop, which is going to be as you are coming out of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
So it's actually a very cool looking facade from what they're going to be doing. It is going to be ran by the broker, which is a Centaurian that has been given permission by Disney to be able to sell some of his wares within the Epcot Center. And then so it is supposed to open in summer of 2022, same time as when Cosmic Rewind is opening. So at this point, I would not expect that gift shop to open before the Cosmic Rewind opens. So, which fingers crossed it opens before June 15th, because I got people coming in the following week and I need them to get on this ride. So think good thoughts. The next thing, there is another nighttime show that is back that I didn't know anything about, but I'm not a big water park person. So H2O Glow over at Typhoon Lagoon is coming back. They are actually starting it on Saturday, May 28th, and it will be every Saturday night through August 27th. Cool. So they do live DJ, dance parties. There's specially themed drinks and foods and stuff available, as well as some merchandise. So anybody that is really into water parks and they want to do something a little bit different, this is a really great add-on that you can do, especially if you've got water babies or teenagers and stuff that you're trying to find something cool and new for them to do, this might be a good way to do it. Yep. Yeah, they drag me to the water parks all the time. So that is currently running at $75 per adult and then $70 for kids. And those will go on sale on April 1st. So if you wanted to add that to your trip, just keep in mind it is only on Saturday evenings. So, okay. Give me 1 second, guys. Thank you. Sorry. Scott, talk, please.
All right. So anyway, Megan's taking care of some issues with our YouTube again. So,
okay. All right. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, hopefully things are going to change a little bit soon with the Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror hit a whopping 140 minutes yesterday. And that was actually a longer wait time than it was for Rise of the Resistance.
Wow.
So isn't that insane? And the reason why is they've only got one side running. They have 2 elevator shafts. And so they are running at basically a half capacity. And that is causing these ridiculously long delays. Granted, this is also in the height of spring break season. So we expect for ride times to be longer anyway, especially at Hollywood Studios, which is probably the most popular park at Disney World right now. But 140 minutes for Tower of Terror.
That's unreal.
Wow. I don't particularly like that ride, but I know I wouldn't wait 140 minutes for that ride. I would psych myself out way too much.
Yeah, me too.
So, but yeah, so there was that information for the Walt Disney World Resort. I do apologize for getting things kind of discombobulated for a couple of seconds.
Yes, he is.
JT is home.
He is in class right now.
Yeah, JT does his class on Monday nights while we do our lives. So we are definitely a busy family.
Yeah. That was about that.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to kind of switch gears a little bit. We're going to start talking about space back there, different things that you can do with your kids. And what really brought this on for us is we are the parents that a lot of times would take our kids out of school for different trips that we would do. And a lot of the things that we would do were actually considered educational. And so we had the educational trip forms that we filled out every time that we would go on our vacations.
Even at Disney and Universal, we always found ways to make it an educational trip. So
yep. And it really was in a lot of ways. Christopher, our oldest, he's always been interested in the Air Force, and space travel is very closely linked within history and even now today. So that was one thing that we had always gone and done and did different things, and that was why I thought about this and was like, you know what? I want to talk to everybody about all the different things that you can do with your little astronauts that maybe not necessarily taking them out of school for it, but educational trips that really bring the families together and make them all excited about going on future trips.
Yep.
So.
Well, let's get started then. Actually, a lot of people don't know about it, but there is a facility that is really close to Pennsylvania and Ohio. So within about, depends on where you're at in Ohio. From Pittsburgh, it's about a 7.5-hour drive. You can be there. It's down in Chincoteague, Virginia. It's actually the island across from it. It's called Wallops Island.
Yep.
And that is actually the home of Wallops Flight Center.
Yes, it is.
There's a lot of exciting things that's happening there. There is going to be more launches coming. I don't know if you even knew about this, but there's a new company that signed on with Wallops Flight Facility down there. They will be doing more launches from down there probably within the next 3 years. They've got to get the facility built, everything done, staffed, and ready to go. So you'll be seeing a lot more launches coming off of the Virginia coastline.
They're really cool to watch.
Yeah, and right now they do the resupplying missions for the International Space Station from Virginia at Wallops there. So you get to see the Terry's rocket. Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Terry's rocket that goes up. We actually got to witness one this past summer. It was just by sheer luck that we were heading down to go see Chris, and we swung over real quick, saw it, and went down the next day.
If you're interested in that, we do have that video up on our YouTube channel, so definitely check that out. Very, very cool launch. It was Nick's first launch ever, and very successful.
Yeah, that would be our second launch together, actually, because we saw a smaller rocket go up from Virginia, too. Our biggest goal is to get on down the coastline and go to Cape Canaveral and actually see a larger rocket go up. SpaceX actually launches from there. Sorry, let me back up. Let's go back to Virginia.
We want to talk about each location a little bit. Because obviously not everybody is going to be into the whole space thing. So we want to make sure that you guys are aware there's other things you can do at each of these locations, even if your focal point is space.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, you've got the beach there. You've got the bay to do fishing and crabbing, and you can do parasailing. You can rent jet skis. You can go out on the boats. You can rent a boat. You can go out and go see the horses and stuff on the island.
Chincoteague is really a hidden gem. And the reason why we enjoy it so much, that is one of the few places that we consistently go back to for our vacations, because it is a sleepy seaside town. It is not this huge built up thing. And I hope it never gets to that point, like Ocean City, which is only an hour away. So if you like the boardwalk, if you like all that stuff, hi, Kim, how are you? Thank you for joining us on Facebook. If you like that kind of thing, drive the hour north and go check that out. But what we like about Chincoteague is the history that's there. It's a sleepy island town. You can get a very reasonable rental, house rental, or stay in one of the, I think there's like 6 different hotels that are on the island itself, which are really, really nice. We've stayed at, I think, 3 of them. No
4
complaints with any. Okay, 4. No complaints with any of them. We have a couple more we want to check out and start doing videos for. But we really like it. It's also the home of the Chincoteague ponies that were made famous by the Margaret Henry books, Misty of Chincoteague, and then all of the corresponding sequels of that. So anybody that had to read that as part of their school curriculum or was horse crazed, like, hello, me, then you've read that, and it's just a neat addition to something that you can do with your kids. You guys can all read that book together, because it is I think it's like at a 3rd or 4th grade level or something. Getting kids into the chapter books is basically where that is. And so it's a really cool thing for you to do with your kids. And then they actually get to see Misty's descendants that are on Chincoteague Island. Then they get to go over and they get to see the wild ponies that's over in Assateague. They get to learn about that as well as nature. There is a very large bald eagle reserve there as well. Deploy prepping, 12-hour rotations are killing us. No problem, Chris. Thanks for joining us. I do appreciate it. So he's not deploying. Sorry, I know I read that out loud. So just work he has to do.
Yeah, he's getting things ready.
So and Christopher, now that he's here in our Facebook, he will be the first to tell you that Chincoteague Island is definitely one of our favorite places to go in vacation. And then the Wallops Flight Center is another reason why we like going.
Yeah. It's our second home from home. So we go there to take a break from our vacations and stuff. It's a great place to actually sit back, for her to read a book, for me to just kick back and relax and just, be me with the boys, I remember a couple times you were reading a book, and Chris and I and JT and Noah took off, and we went out. We had shoes on, and we started walking out in the water in the bay and started finding great big seashells and conch shells and gutting those and bringing them back. We made sure there was nothing in them; they were empty. But yeah, it was seen a couple sea turtles swimming around and stuff. So it was really cool. Yeah. So they've got all of that going on. There is the NASA facility there too that you could.
Sorry. Oh, Shelby, I love it.
There is a NASA facility there that you can go and tour. It's a small facility, but it does give a little bit of a brief. It is free to the public as of right now, obviously. When it's open.
And it is not open every day. So definitely well worth going and checking that out. They've got some really nice displays. They've got different videos and stuff playing so that you can kind of get a little bit of a feel for how things work at the Wallops Island and their programs that they are launching from there.
Yeah. And they have a really cool gift shop.
Yes, they do.
I like going in there and shopping.
Yes.
Buy patches and stuff, all kinds of them.
Yeah.
So.
And space food. Well,
before we go too far here.
All right, that's my cue to leave. She should be doing our stuff to buy a house. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us for a little bit, Christopher. We do appreciate it. So.
Well, before we go too far here into the next one, I wanted to remind you guys that, hey, there is a new product out by Coca-Cola. This is the new Minute Maid Frescas that are out. And this is the hibiscus flavor. Mm-hmm. There is also, I'll bring it up here to Facebook so everybody can see it real good. There is the strawberry flavor, and there's also a mango flavor that they just came out with 3 new flavors. The hibiscus is probably my second favorite. The strawberry is probably my first. And we're going to have a little bit of it here.
Cool.
So.
And while he's pouring that out, and we're going to be testing that, I did want to mention, I'm going to kind of move us back around. Hate mango. It's a hit and miss for me. Not so much in drinks. I think it's a little too sweet.
Yeah.
But I did want to go ahead and kind of move things around a little bit, and instead of go back to Disney World. And bear with me as we talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Clink.
That's really good. Has a nice tart taste to it. So. Yeah. And I really like hibiscus, so you have to like hibiscus to like that.
Mm-hmm. And the strawberry is so good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying the strawberry. So.
Yeah, I got to remember to bring it home.
So, all right. So the reason why I want to bring back, kind of circle us back around and go back to Disney World for a few minutes is it's a really great place to vacation, but there are things that you can do that can really get your little astronauts excited about space. Epcot, that is probably going to be one of your best places to take your kids as far as a real life experience of space. And what I mean by that is they do have Mission to Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And
you can do the mild version.
You can do the mild version or the intense version. I highly recommend the mild version if you are the least bit claustrophobic or motion sickness, because you really get some G's forced onto you at the intense version.
Yeah.
But that is one thing that you can do with your kids. That whole area actually is very geared towards being able to go up into space. That was a very big thing that they wanted to bring into Epcot. So about time to get back to Disney. Well, I'm not going to be on it for very long, Deb, unfortunately. Yeah. So you'll have to bear with me. The other thing is, last fall, they opened up a new restaurant called Space 220. Mm-hmm. What's really neat about this one is when you have younger kids that are starting to show an interest in things and are very they believe in the princesses and they believe in everything that they're experiencing. Mm-hmm. You get to take them to Space 220. They board an elevator that shoots them up 220 miles up into space, and they get to have lunch or dinner in the Space 220 station.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
That would definitely spark the kids' interest. I mean, I know the magic of Disney and stuff, and I've experienced it since I was, yay high, but even to this day, I'm 47 years old, and it's still, there's the magic. You still feel it when you go. Mm-hmm. So I could just imagine being a kid and being interested in going into outer space, and you look at your kid and say, hey, we're going to take you into outer space today for lunch.
Isn't that awesome?
I mean, to be able,
as an adult,
I know
like,
it's
I'm
lying to your kids, but but I mean that's something really cool. That's the magic
of Disney. Hi, Ray.
Hi,
Thank
Ray.
you for joining us on Facebook. We appreciate it.
It's an awesome way to get your kid excited about becoming an astronaut or looking into the space programs and stuff, and working like with SpaceX or NASA or Blue Origin, Virgin Galactic, all of those wonderful facilities that are popping up all over the place and giving us the opportunity to eventually common people like us to be able to go into outer space and see the Earth from a far distance. So I think that would be awesome. It is in the works, but it'll be a few years yet. So
yeah.
But
love that.
Yeah.
And the other thing that you can do is say you get a kid that is like super excited with Star Wars, okay? And obviously over at Hollywood Studios, you've got Batu, Star Wars Galactic Edge, you can go and check out. You've got the Halcyon that you can do where you're up in space and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all great. Don't get me wrong. I think they're amazing. I can't wait to experience some of that stuff myself because obviously we haven't been able to do everything with that yet.
Yeah.
But if they're excited about that, then you can kind of bring them out of that fantasy or that that storyline that obviously, I mean, Star Wars, it's not real at this point in time. I mean, who knows? Maybe in 50 years or something, there will be something like that that we'll be experiencing ourselves. But you can kind of bring them over into Epcot and go, here is what it could really be like for you.
Yeah, I think you're right. We all need to go into outer space.
I think you're crazy, Mike.
I think it'll be fun. It is, the intensity getting off of the planet and going into outer space. I think that would be a huge rush. But at the same time, it would be a little strain on the body. But once you get up there, I mean, come on, William Shatner just did it. I mean, come on. If he can do it,
Captain Kirk finally made it to space.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. The guy's been captain of the Enterprise for what, since the 60s, right? Or 70s, whatever it was.
I think the mid-60s, late 60s. I've seen the entire series, but I couldn't actually tell you when it started. So, definitely Disney is a great place to whet a child's appetite. If you guys are planning on going to Disney this year, make sure that you call me. It's only a $200 deposit to get you guys started, and then final payments due 30 days before travel. So definitely able to get you guys booked into that and kind of get them interested in it a little bit. And then you can decide if some of these other locations might be an option for you either this year or next year for future vacations.
Now, with that being said, if you're at Disney and you do have a little one or a couple little ones that is interested in being an astronaut, an hour's drive east is Cape Canaveral.
Space Coast.
Yep, it's the Space Coast. So this is where the big rockets for SpaceX launches. There's also out on the California coast, SpaceX launches out there too. But we're talking about Florida right now. So anyway, so SpaceX, NASA, and I believe Blue Origin also launches from there too.
You would know more than me on that.
So, but NASA is right now working on their new moon rocket. If you guys have not seen this, and by the way, look, I'm watching. It just literally said Scott Snyder's watching. Well, no kidding, I'm watching it.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry guys. It just popped up on the Facebook feed that I was actually watching. I'm kind of trying to keep an eye on the feed here too. But
oh goodness.
Anyway, but NASA has just came out. They've not just came out. They've been working on the moon rocket for quite a while now, and they have gotten it onto the crawler.
Okay.
They've rolled it out to the launch pad, and they're conducting tests on it. So this is great. I believe within the next few days, they're going to do the wet test, and then they're going to do a complete dry run and see how everything goes and make sure everything is getting ready to power up and be able to go.
Okay.
But guys, when this one goes, this one has literally the same build of the Saturn V rocket, which is the rocket that took the astronauts to the moon. So that's a Saturn V rocket. And they have the solid rocket boosters off of it's not off of the space shuttle, but it's
same
the same
schematics.
Yeah, same schematics and same design and stuff on the sides of it. So when this thing goes off, guys, this thing is going to make some serious noise. And I'm telling you.
And you're going to be able to see it in a lot of places that you can't normally see the other rocket launches.
I mean, this one is going to be huge. I mean, this is going to be, it's going to almost dwarf the size of the space shuttle. I mean, it's just.
That's amazing.
It's just amazing that something that big is going to go up into space. And when that thing goes up, damn, I hope I'm there.
We're going to do whatever we can. Hi, Tim.
Hey,
Thanks
Tim.
for joining us on Facebook. Haven't seen you in forever.
So. But yeah, I'm excited to be able to see that one go off. And I'm telling you, with the people that are traveling the next few months down to Florida through Plum Crazy Adventures down to Universal or Disney and stuff.
They better keep their eyes to the sky, and I will definitely be letting them know when things are launching, because you can see majority of the SpaceX launches from Orlando if you have your head in the right direction and there's favorable weather.
Yeah.
So
I know when we got down there this past summer, when we just literally landed, the Inspiration 4.
Was September.
Yeah, in September. Inspiration 4 went up, and that was the 4 average American astronauts, or average Americans, went up in space, and SpaceX trained them and got them ready to go, and they put them up, and it was to help raise money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, which they did an amazing job with that. So
yeah, very
if you guys haven't seen that yet, there is a documentary about it on Netflix.
Yeah.
About Inspiration 4. So if you guys haven't watched it, it's a 4-part series. It will take you probably about 4 or 5 hours to complete it, but it was really awesome.
Cool.
So
yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of that one. So now I wanted to talk a little bit about Kennedy Space Center itself, because they have an amazing facility for you to be able to go and see different things about space travel, the history of space travel, where it's going, what they're doing. They do some tours where you can go, obviously not on launch days or anything like that, but where you can go and you can see where the launch pads are, how certain things work. They don't have the vehicle assembly building open anymore, obviously. We got to actually do that a few years ago with 3 of our 4 kids. Nick wasn't born yet. Very cool thing that we got to do.
It's a
not very many.
Yeah, it was a very rare thing to do too, because not a lot of people get to actually go in and stand inside the vehicle assembly building, because NASA deemed that for a long time top secret. I mean, they didn't want you to see anything that was going on inside of there, because I mean, we were in competition with the Russians and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And, so. What
one is Pete Davidson going on, the SNL guy?
That would probably be the Blue Origin one.
Okay. Is that owned by the Virgin guy?
No.
Okay.
No, that's actually Virgin.
Oh, okay.
And I believe that's the owner, or the previous owner of Amazon. So I'm pretty sure that's who it was. But I believe it's Blue Origin. I think that's the one that took up William Shatner too. Also.
Oh, okay.
It was Blue Origin. So.
Yeah, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I mean, I'm like, Mickey Mouse came out with a new waffle. I don't follow that kind of stuff at all. I'm very bad about knowing stuff like that, so I apologize.
Mickey Mouse with a new waffle.
Well,
you dork.
That would be what I would be super excited about. Let's be honest. It's food and Mickey Mouse, best of both worlds, and it's Mickey waffles. So why my brain went there, I have no idea. But now that's what I want. So.
When we get off here, I got to run down to Target and go pick up waffles, because she wants Mickey waffles. So I'll just have to arrange them on the plate to make them look like a Mickey Mouse waffle.
We'll just try to go down in a month or 6 weeks or so and stay at a Disney resort and have Mickey waffles. That's what we'll do. Anyway. Now that we are totally and completely derailed and off topic, Kennedy Space Center is really great to visit. They're actually the home of, I believe, Atlantis, right? That is the shuttle that is at home there. So one really cool thing that you can do is actually see that particular space shuttle.
Yeah. And the way they have it displayed, it's really, we didn't actually get to partake in it, but our friends Rick and Nikki from Rick's Road Trips.
Yeah, it was on his Rick's Road Trips.
Yeah, he did a video on it, and the way they present it is just amazing.
Yeah.
We were there when they were building everything.
Yeah. They haven't sent it to Kennedy Space Center yet. So we need to go back, because there's so much more that has happened since that time frame. More things that we want to see.
And this is the place where you can go and have lunch with an astronaut.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how cool is that? I mean, like we said, if you've got a kid that's really interested in it, being able to go have lunch with an astronaut, be able to sit and talk with the astronaut, get an autograph or a photo taken with them. I mean,
walk underneath of a Saturn V rocket.
Oh yeah, I mean that thing is.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how big
they have it. They have it lengthways. It's like I can't remember how many football fields they said it was, but it's a lot.
Yeah, it's huge.
So definitely well worth checking it out. And there's things there that's everybody's going to be into. And if this is something that you decide that you want your focal point to be, and you're not wanting to go into Orlando, you're not wanting to do the theme parks, what's wrong with you? I totally get it, actually, because it's very expensive. But maybe you decide to do a 3 or 4 night cruise with Royal Caribbean or Carnival or Norwegian Cruise Line, and you tie in your Kennedy Space Center adventure with that. Then you go out on your cruise, because Port Canaveral, Kennedy Space Center, they're literally side by side. And then while you're out on the boat, you guys go out to the upper decks and you get to really experience stargazing like you can't do in most metropolitan areas because of light pollution.
And
so
when you get
how
out
cool is that?
And when you get out to sea, God, it is so gorgeous out there. And at nighttime, I mean, you talk about shooting stars and just being able. If I could have brought my telescope, that's what they need to do. They need to put like an observation deck up on the top of one of them with a big telescope, so everybody can come up and look at the stars and stuff.
That would be really cool, actually.
I think that's something.
I think that would be better, actually, than the 365 observation deck that they have for the daytime of the Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, I think they need to incorporate something for the nighttime viewers and stuff. So, Carnival, you hear us.
Royal Caribbean, any of you.
Somebody. Let's get on it, guys. So. Disney, When you wish upon a star, guys, it's about time you put an observation deck with, a telescope up there. So.
Oh, I love it. Now, something else that you guys can do that is not necessarily NASA related, but maybe you decide that you want to come to our nation's capital and experience all of the amazing museums and historical areas that they have. And you have somebody that is interested in military or interested in space. You have to make sure that you go to the Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center, which is part of the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum. Now, the reason why I'm saying you definitely have to go to that one is because that is where all the vehicles are. It is completely free admission. You do have to check hours and times that they are available, that it's open for you to be able to go in. And you're going to be able to see another space shuttle. I'm not quite sure if that one was the Endeavour or I can't remember. You're going to see a Stealth, which was really cool. Not the Stealth. What was it?
SR-71 Blackbird.
Thank you, the Blackbird. Can you tell that I'm the mom that's just like, go ahead, honey. I'll take the photo. I try. I really do.
Do you want to be in a photo? No, I'm good.
I don't know what I'm looking at, so just let me click.
It's got wheels and a big engine on it. I just don't understand.
No, it goes up in the air. I'm not driving it.
and it flies through clouds.
Oh, he's not in here anymore to pick on him about that.
Yeah, I know.
So it's a really cool place for you to go. There is tons of history there. There's lots of things for you to see and do. Kind of get the kids interested in that. And then provided that it's open, because the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum that's on National Mall, they've actually temporarily closed it through until fall of this year. I'm assuming that they're doing some major renovations, and that's why that they have closed that one down to get things worked on. I know pre-pandemic they were doing a lot of work, so maybe that's why they just have now officially closed it to get everything done. But tons of things that you can do there. And then, of course, if you're already in DC, you got to go and you got to check out Abraham Lincoln statue, Washington Monument, go to the zoo, Washington, D.C. Zoo, because they have real pandas there. As you can tell, that's something I want to do.
Wow. So the red pandas that we have over here at ours are fake?
They're midget pandas. I want to see the giant black and white pandas.
I'm sorry.
Giant black and white pandas.
Thank you. That's what I needed. I needed that one more time.
Definitely want to. There's a ton of things that you can do in DC, and if you guys are interested, I can definitely hook you guys up with some hotels that would be a good option for you, and kind of work through the transit options and things that are there, because that does get a little bit hairy here and there with different.
Hi, Krisha.
Hi, Krisha. Whether or not you need to take, I wanted to call it a monorail. It's not a monorail, but if you're wanting to take the public transportation that's there in order to get to certain things, like for instance, is it called the T?
I think it's the T,
okay.
The Metro train.
Thank you. Metro is what I was trying to think of. Like for instance, there is very limited to no parking at the 9/11 Center that is in Washington, D.C. And so a lot of times you have to take the public transport to get there, if that's something that you're interested in doing. And I've done tons of research on that, and we've experienced some of it, not all of it. So I'll be able to help you navigate all of that.
Yeah, so the Aerospace Museum that Megan was talking about at the first, the really neat thing about it is you're butted up right, literally at the end of the runway at it's Dulles, isn't it?
It's one of the smaller airline
airports. Yeah, but they have some big airlines fly in now, and
you can see them coming into Dulles off in the distance.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Dulles is the big airport.
Yeah, but right there beside the Aerospace Museum, there is the runway. So you can. There's actual. I swear it was a 777 that was getting ready to take off. It was the Emirate getting ready to head back across the ocean. So, but anyway, so there's if you got
you can see that
possibly a pilot in the future that maybe want to fly a plane or something.
And they have a really cool observation deck at the top of the Udvar-Hazy, so that you can take the elevator, go up to the top. Hi, Kevin. Thanks for coming and joining us. Go to the top. It's completely encircled in glass, and you can look out over this beautiful view that also includes the runway, and you can see planes taking off or landing if one happens to be scheduled to do so. But what's cool about that is, this is in my mind, it might take a little bit of painting of the picture for your kids, but that is the one that they actually had the space shuttle come in. And of course, when they have the space shuttles going from place to place, they had to put them on the back of a plane. And so to be able to have been there up in that observation tower and have seen the space shuttle coming in for its final landing at the Udvar-Hazy, how cool would that have been?
Yeah. See, I got her into it. All right. So I think the last thing that we're going to talk about here is down in Houston. Houston, Texas, and because I got
way more stuff, but I realize that we're running out of time.
So, but let's go to Houston, Texas. A lot of people don't really associate Houston, Texas with NASA too much, but if you guys pay attention to the astronauts, they are constantly going Houston.
Mission control.
The famous line, Houston, we've got a problem, and that's from the Apollo 13 mission. So that's mission control, and they do have a facility down there where you can go do tours and stuff to be able to see the mission control from the Apollo era. It is really a really interesting thing to see because, they have corded phones, they have big monitors and screens and stuff. I mean, the old stuff nowadays, it's
back when they were convinced that the Russians were
it's this size, so
back when they were convinced that the Russians were watching everything we were doing. So they were basically in like a concrete bunker with no windows. It's amazing.
It's really cool to see that facility, and plus they have a lot of history and stuff down there. There's also a lot of stuff for the kids to be able to learn. There's a lot of programs down there for them to be able to do to get involved into science and the actual space and stuff and different things. Hi, Carla. And all that stuff. So it's a great facility. Plus, there's a port. For cruising, literally just about a half an hour, 45 minutes down the road. So if you're flying in to go on a trip, on a cruise, why not take an extra day and just enjoy going and taking the kids to go see that. And there is some great hotels around. There's great opportunities for you to be able to enjoy Houston itself, because Houston itself is a very beautiful city.
Side note, that is one of the nicest hotels, or not hotels, one of the nicest airports we have ever flown into.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved that airport.
Yeah, it was the easiest one to get into and out of. And we rented a car from there and left from there and went over to Chris's graduation ceremony over in San Antonio. So
that was
that's
a story for another evening.
That was when a hurricane decided to park itself right over top of Houston.
Irma,
right over top of Houston. So
because we were going to go do ship tours and stuff at Houston Center. So
nothing was going on because everything was
flooded.
Yep.
But anyway, other things that you guys can do. I know that we've been talking a lot about that kind of stuff. Maybe you want to stargaze with your kids, and maybe this is going to be a weekend trip. Dip your toes in, see how things go. Maybe you want to kind of do other things along with it, but you want to make sure that you've got a really good opportunity to show them something with minimal light pollution. Cherry Springs State Park is actually number 9 on the top 10 list of places that you can do that in the United States. That is only about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on traffic, north of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's a couple hours north of Pittsburgh. It's if you're running I-80 from west to east, I should say, or east to west, it's about in the middle of the state, actually. And we drove through there once and not realizing, and it was nighttime, and not realizing where we were. And I remember,
dark.
I remember because Megan was driving her car, and I looked at her and I said, "Man, is it me, or is it like really, really dark?" Like, I mean, it was like no light.
In the mind of like X-Files abduction scene about to happen.
You're waiting for
it was a little creepy.
to come in, take you away and stuff. But it was. But later on, we stopped to get gas, and I started looking and did some investigation on my phone, and found out that we literally went through the area where it's just no light pollution at all, and they make sure that nothing damages that whole area right there. So it's a really cool area to go to see.
And you can camp at the Cherry Springs National Park. They do have rules and such in order to minimize the light pollution. There is also hotels that is a few miles away if you wanted to rent a room, go out for a few hours, come back to your room late at night.
But keep this in mind. If you
they
are
book
interested,
up fast.
yes, and especially Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. They book up very fast on the weekends, especially during summertime when everybody's out looking for something to do.
And new moon, because obviously that's going to be your best time to do.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure you keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. If you go when it's a full moon, and if you're wanting to go see the stars, you're not going to see anything. But you're going to see that beautiful full moon in the sky. And it is, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Other places that you can see some really amazing stars is if you go out to Utah to Bryce Canyon National Park. That's one place that is on our bucket list. I want to see a lot of Utah, actually, just because of all of the different stone formations and stuff that they have out there. But also really fantastic for stargazing because there's very minimal light pollution. Another place is the Grand Canyon. That is another fantastic place for you to be able to really see the stars. And we got to experience that a little bit ourselves when we were out in Vegas a couple of years ago, because we took the day, we drove out to the southern rim of the Grand Canyon. And then when we were coming back, obviously it was nighttime, and we got to see a beautiful sky that evening.
Yeah, we just pulled off along the road and went back up in I don't know where we were. I think we were on somebody's driveway.
It's hard to say where we were. It was dark.
But it was
obviously
dark. And man, it just looked like somebody took like a white marker and just all over the sky. And it was so
you can see just a hint of like purple swirl and stuff in it. Just a little bit of the Milky Way.
Yeah, it needed to be a little bit darker, and unfortunately, we were too close to Vegas, and the light pollution from it was causing us not to be able to see that. So.
But another place is the Big Bend National Park, which is in Southwest Texas. So if you are wanting to go to Houston, check out some things and then head on over to Big Bend, or do it as a pre and post cruise. That's something else you can do.
Yeah.
And Texas is huge, so make sure that if you book it with me, I'll make sure that you have plenty of time planned for it, because people are like, oh, I'll just go and do this and this. No, Texas is like giant.
Oh,
we
yeah,
have to make sure you have plenty of time to actually get there.
Also, if you guys actually are going to go to the south rim of the Grand Canyon and stay there, there is some hotels and stuff that's out just a little ways away from it, or you can say there's places that you can rent and there at the
right there at the rim.
Yeah, at the rim. Sorry, my brain went dead. But up the road, just a little bit further, is the impact crater.
Yeah.
Which I'm kicking myself because
I totally forgot about that.
We totally forgot, and it was like literally.
And that's such a huge part of our like learning about things in space.
Yeah.
So it's an impact crater that is outside of Flagstaff, Arizona.
And we were just like.
And we didn't go because we didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Like if we had thought about it, we would have rented a hotel somewhere for the night and then driven back the next day, so we could have seen that.
Yeah.
But definitely well worth checking that out too.
Yeah.
Another place is Denali National Park and Reserve, which is in Alaska. Alaska is a very good place for you to be able to stargaze and learn a little bit about Mother Nature as well, because that is probably one of the most beautiful places that I could send you to on this planet.
Yeah.
And then the last one I want to talk to you about is going to Hawaii. And obviously Hawaii is a very far away for us East Coasters. But if you guys are at least bit interested in space or learning about space and NASA or anything to do with those sciences, astronomy, you really need to go visit Mauna Kea Observatory, because that is the best place for you to be able to experience the skies in the way God intended.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. That is definitely a major bucket list item that I want to cross off.
Yeah. The only reason we haven't done Hawaii is because we're planning on going for like 3 weeks straight.
Yeah. So Cole, get ready. I'm going to take a 3-week vacation.
And I have to make sure I don't kill Nick on that flight.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to last that flight. So, but yeah, so lots of different things that you guys can do. Some of which are free, some of which later Dog has to go by. It's good to see you, Mike. Thank you for joining us. Lots of different places that you can do, lots of ideas on things to get your kids interested in space travel, in space itself, astronomy, whatever it is that gets them excited about
science,
learning. Yes, and science itself. So whether it is space specific or not.
Well, that's a tongue twister for you.
I know, that was hard. So
yeah, it could be anything as from doing science experiments to learn how things grow in outer space, to just anything, how to purify water for the astronauts to be able to drink when they go to Mars, how to mine for certain precious metals and golds and gases and fuels and stuff for the rockets to be able to perform. How to be able to harness energy and stuff like that. That all comes from science and space travel. So it's a very important part of our history, and it's very important for our kids to learn it because we're heading out. So very soon.
And maybe they decide they want to be a geologist because they went to that crater. Even though you guys were talking about space, they got really excited about that crater and they wanted to know more about that. And became geologists because of that. Maybe they learned how to take better care of our planet than what we are doing ourselves because of things that they're learning about possible space travel. So there's limitless ways for your child to learn and grow by doing educational trips like this. And as you can obviously tell, I totally geek out with these kinds of things and would be so happy to help you get that booked and planned for you and your family.
Well, guys, I think this is going to wrap up our evening tonight because we've been on for just about an hour now. I'm sure some of you are probably about done with us. So, but anyway, guys, don't forget to get out and get your brand new Minute Maid frescoes that just came out.
Yep.
By Coca-Cola. They are very good. Like I said, there is the hibiscus, the strawberry, and the mango flavors.
Yeah.
And I will keep you guys up to date on new things that will pop up over the next few weeks here. There's some new flavors and new things coming out, and a very new, fun flavor that's coming out by Penta.
Ooh, yeah.
It's the WTF.
I know.
I
think it's so funny.
So anyway, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. If I haven't said we haven't said it yet already, don't forget to like and follow us on YouTube, and you YouTubers, don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook. Yep. And don't forget to check out our videos and stuff. Like Megan said earlier, we do have some videos from us being at Wallops flight facility, or down in Chickateague, watching the launch and stuff, so that you guys can actually see exactly what we were talking about and do it yourselves. So, and then
you can also see the launch that we got to see in Orlando when we went in September. So check that one out too.
Yeah, so there's those 2 videos, and check everything out. And with all that being said, guys, I think we're going to get out of here and call it an evening. So we'll see you guys next Monday night at 8 p.m., same place, same station, where we'll be talking to you guys about some more travel and different things that comes up news-wise around traveling. So, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. It's been great talking to you all, and it's been great seeing everybody. We'll see you guys next week. And as always, are you ready for your next Plum Crazy adventure?
Because we're ready to get you there.
Talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.